Hi everyone and welcome to FilmDirt. Let's talk about one of my very favourite movies, Robocop. This movie, I remember when I was in school and it was all the rage. Just one of those movies that all the kids were just going crazy over. It was the must-see adult movie that you had to watch that was apparently just nuts and so awesome. I'm in my 40s now, so I was probably 12 to 15 maybe when this came out, back up in Scotland where I grew up. And I just remember all the kids just going crazy over this movie. It was the only thing that people were talking about. After being subjected to all the have you seen this movie? You can sneak into this theatre and see it, even though we're all underage. I actually went to see it with a very good friend of mine. We went together for a bit of moral support, I think, because we were underage, and in Scotland, in the UK, it was 18 certificate, and we're definitely not 18. I can tell you that now, and probably didn't even look it. Somehow they let us in. I don't know, maybe because there was a lot of people there. It was very busy, and the line was just snaking outside. I remember it was just outside the doors. They just let us in, both of us. And I just remember the movie now. So awesome, so well crafted, expertly stitched together. All the elements of what makes this the ultimate revenge movie. Where do you start? Every scene in this movie is essential to the overall plot. Each scene advances what you need to know to progress. There's no padding, and he finds all of the villains one by one and gives them all a gruesome end, which is what you want to see, isn't it, from such a terrible crime they committed. And they took this man's, well, they took everything away, his life, his family, even though he's back, he's kind of alive. And they do establish it in this film that he is still a man, he's not just a full machine, there's still a man there. And, they all pay, they all have to pay. We feel for what happened to Murphy. We're all left satisfied that all the villains got their dose, got their full due, and not just quietly and just a quick kill and it's done. No, they all know what's happening. They're fully aware of what's happening to them. So we've got a very tragic story here of what happens to this policeman just doing his job, just rounding up the criminals and taking them in. And I remember when I was a child, it's horrifying to see what happened to this guy, and it's still the same as now. Now that I'm an adult now, I haven't let my kids see this yet, but trust me, they will see it. And horrifying. Even now I've seen it maybe hundreds of times. It's still so gruesome, and we just see enough to have pity and anger as to what happened. And we know it's a movie, but we're just drawn in because it's so horrific. And this is a good man, we know he's got a wife and a son, and he's just doing his job. And these guys, they don't deserve to be free. They should be locked up, or I guess for what they're doing, they should be dead. And that's what we feel straight away in the very early scenes of this movie. This is a horrible place, and the town these people inhabit just needs cleaning up. And the police definitely aren't up to it. Kind of mirrors Batman in a way. We've got to see Gotham as a bit of a scummy place, really. and someone has got to ride into town and clean up. There's so many villains here, and you've got this cop killer gang, expertly fronted by Clarence Boddicker. Such a great character, so well played by Kurtwood Smith. I wasn't familiar with his work before this. Apparently he was in some kind of a very pleasant rom-com, and he played a pleasant character. So unlike him here. Here he's just awesome and so hateful as the main villain. And you've got the other members of his gang that are just as bad as he is. And, there's just a real motley crew of disgusting scumbags, that just, it just makes your skin crawl, doesn't it? They just deserve what's coming to them. And you're willing this man on, not in any way condoning violence, but you just want these guys to really get it, and you're almost willing him to do it and to deliver the fatal blow. And it's just what this film does to you. Even if you're a good person, you turn the vigilante as well. So we've got Alex Murphy, played superbly by Peter Weller. So awesome. This is his career-defining role for sure. And the man is put in this suit, and he wakes up, and he's mostly machine, but we start to see a little bit of a character study here, where the man starts to compensate for the machine and not take over as such, because he's still a machine, or mostly a machine with a brain or operating system of some kind. But we start to see him get his feelings back and his memories back, and he remembers his family, and he remembers the evil men that did this to him, and we're tracking each one down, and he uses the police computer to find out their names and their faces, just from small bits that he can recollect. And he's starting to recollect more as he encounters one villain. He starts to learn more about the next, and the ultimate bad guy is coming. He's gonna get his due as well. So it's such a good movie. We just on this ride, and there's individual set pieces which are just awesome. I remember as a child the fascination of Robocop pulling this man through the wall, which was the mayor that went nuts and threw him out the window. So we learned that this man is just no nonsense, and fully deserving of the 18 certificate. So he carries a gun, and he uses it throughout the movie. And other little set pieces as well, such as the I'd buy that for $1 guy, which I believe is called Bixby Snyder. So awesome and so funny. What makes me laugh is that wherever we go in the film, everyone is watching this crappy show where this guy just seems to be surrounded by girls, and he's playing with them, and he's got his catchphrase, I'd buy that for $1. It's absolutely hilarious in this nutty film, and the fact that everyone seems to be watching this show, you just want to watch the show as well. Just after Robocop, you're hunting down this Bixby Snyder show, because it just seems so good that everyone's watching it. So when we're on this journey, we come to the ending eventually, and it's so satisfying. We've got Robocop who's been through the mill now. He's been shot up, not by the bad guys, but by the good guys following orders, who are also taking orders from the bad guy as well, the OCP board member. And that just tells you certain things about corporation, and who's really the good guy, and what are their motives, and all about power and money, and it's nothing about the people they serve. And It's a very interesting social commentary, and that's what we got throughout the film with all the commercials about big business and getting a better car and buy this, buy that. The whole movie is so compelling, and it's absolutely fantastic. Paul Verhoeven, take a bow. This is his best work. I know he's done some great other movies, and I hope to cover them on my channel very soon. But Robocop is one of my very favourite movies. If you've not seen it, you shouldn't be watching this review before. Just definitely watch it. What are you waiting for? And don't be confused with the newer movie, which I think came out in 2014 or 15. That's a completely different movie, also called Robocop. It's not terrible. That's a bit more of a character study, but don't watch this before you've seen the original 87 version. Do yourself a favour and watch this movie. You will never forget it. You will never regret it. One of the very best movies you will ever see. The ending is satisfying, even though it's not fully wound up. Obviously, he'll never go back to becoming the man he was, and he'll never be able to have his family again. But just the revenge on the bad guys, that's all you can hope for. And it definitely delivers. So 5 stars from me, without question. Absolutely fantastic. Go and watch it now, and if you've already watched it, watch it again like I did. It's that good. So that rounds up my Robocop review. And before I go, just a little bit about myself. I'm going to be posting many more reviews, and you'll get an honest, unbiased opinion from me, because I don't accept any promotional treats for good reviews, no, not even any free tickets. So I'd love to see you join me again for another review. Like and subscribe and all that jazz they always say. And it was great speaking to you. And I'll speak to you again. Take care.